Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to another video home cooking show brought to you by Seek to Inspire and the Bakery. Today what we're going to be doing, we're going to be making a vegetarian, vegan shepherd's pie. Okay, so no meat, no need to worry. So the ingredients you're going to need today, we've got soya mince, that's what we're using, tomatoes, a couple of chopped tomatoes, chopped onion, some green chilli, diced and chopped carrots, a bit of garam masala, some salt and a couple of potatoes. Now before we actually get started, as usual, you need to wash your hands. So I've already done that. Hands are washed, clean. All the dishes, everything are clean and pure as well, and sucha. So the way I do it, I do a quick way. Obviously spice wise, you can use any spices that you like. I'm not adding garlic or ginger to this today. Normally I do, but then depending on people's tastes, some people like garlic, some people don't. Some people like ginger, some people don't. So I'm going to make it without, and if you want to add stuff, you can always add stuff, experiment yourself, make it, but this is the basic quick way that I like to make this. So what I do, first of all, what I do is I'll get the tomatoes, like say a couple roughly chopped, and you put them in a blender or a chopper. So I put the tomatoes, I put the onions, and I put the green chilli. Now the reason why I use green chilli, some people like to use chilli powder, red chilli powder, but I tend not to use red chilli powder. I like green chilies because it tastes better, a bit more freshness, not too spicy afterwards as well, if you're worried about heartburn and things. So just put it straight in. Oop. You put it straight in and chop them all up. And there we go, chopped up, perfectly fine. Okay, next thing I'm going to do, and this is what you've got to remember with soya mince, if you take it straight out of the packet, it's still not such a, you need to wash it, you need to clean it. All the other veg and everything have been washed and prepared. So, with the soya mince, what I do is get a sieve. Remember, I've already pre-washed the nilka, it's all sucha, the tap and everything, is running water. Get your soya mince, put it into your sieve, and then just wash it through. Just give it a rinse, wash it through. As you can see, all the dirt, the meal, everything comes out of it. So just give it a rinse. And don't worry about if it's still wet, because we're going to use the moisture, the water that's in there. So I'll just get that bowl back, put that in there. So what we're going to do now is cook the mince. So I'll put that straight into your pot. Remember quantities, people ask about quantities and how much should I use. If you're cooking for more than one person, you'll need a lot. As you can see, just a bowl. I don't bother measure stuff out unless it's exact baking. Just do how you like it. If you like it more oniony, put extra onion in. If you like it tomatoey, put extra tomato in. If you like certain vegetables, if you don't like carrots but you like peas, swap it over. If you like them both, put them both in. It's entirely up to you. Okay, so the soya mince has gone in. Next thing we're going to add is the chopped tomatoes and onions and things. Oh. So make sure you get everything out of your chopper. So your chopped tomatoes, your onion, your chilli, or your mirchi if you want to call it that. Right, so everything goes into your pot. Okay? Make sure you put the blade somewhere safe. One thing I also do is I add just a touch of water, a bit of cold water in there. So you put a bit of water in and you start, put it on the heat and you start stirring it in. Okay, mix it all together. Okay? At this point, you add your garam masala and your salt as well. And you let it cook for a bit, okay? Make sure you stir and it's mixed all the way through. Right, while it's cooking, while it's boiling, what you need to do, now some people, if you like your carrots really, really soft, put the carrots in at the start. I like them to have a bit of texture to them and I don't want them to be too mushy. So I'll let it boil for a bit. You boil it down for about 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. So halfway through, because I like a bit of texture to mine, I add the carrots halfway through. So remember the chopped and diced carrots, we're going to add them to the pot now. So they're added in, give it a good stir. So they all get mixed in. And leave it for another 10-15 minutes if you want. Like I say, reduce the water down so it becomes to like a mincy gravy type consistency. Right, as you can see, it's starting to thicken up a bit. You've got to keep stirring this. The mince absorbs the water and it thickens and it starts to grow. And as you can see, when it first put it in with the water, it's easy to stir, but now it's getting a bit harder and it's thickening. So you're going to keep it boiling, keep it going until it thickens, simmers down a bit more. You need to get rid of about 50% more of the water. So you're boiling it down. As you can see, I like my stuff chunky. So basically the carrots, the mircha, the onion, the tomato, I like it all that you can bite into. Some people don't like big pieces, so you can, when you're doing your tomatoes, when you're doing your onions, when you're doing your chilies, is blitz it down even more so it becomes like a paste or a puree or whatever. So yeah, just keep stirring, keep stirring, keep stirring until it reduces, and then leave it to boil for a bit more. So now the potatoes have been boiled and now we're going through the mashing phase. Just once you've boiled your potatoes, just put them all together, mash them up. You can use a masher or you can use a fork like I'm using. You can add a touch of milk to it if you wish. Because we've already put salt in the mince mixture, if you like salt, you can add it to the potato. I'm not adding it to the potato, like I say, because I've added it there. Some people might ask what potatoes to use. An old friend of mine prefers Maris Pipers. One night made me go to Tesco, made a few of us go to Tesco looking for some Maris Pipers in the middle of the night to make some chips, because he prefers those, but you can use any potato you wish. Okay, so the mince is being cooked. It's nice and thick. So I'll put that over here. As you've seen, the mashed potato has been prepared. What we're going to do now is we're going to put it in a tin. Now this is quite a deep tin. Some people like wider tins, but a lot shallower. But I'm using this tin because, again, I like using this one. So I'm just going to pour it straight in there. As you can see, it's still a bit thick, still a bit wet, but don't worry, it will dry itself out in the cooking process in the oven. So let's get all the mince in there. Let's not leave anything in the pan. Let's get it all in there. So it's all in. And then what you need to do is level it out. So we spread it out so it's level. Yeah, because when you first pour it in, it's just going to go in as a big lump. So level it out. Right, okay. So that's done. Now what we do is going to add the potato. This is still quite hot, so I'm going to put it on there. And now the potato's being mashed, still a bit warm, and then what I do is I just place it on top. So get your hands right in there and put the mashed potato on there. Now, you can use a couple of potatoes, you can use quite a lot if you want. I've used 3, maybe 4 potatoes I tend to use in a recipe like this to just cover it all up and then just get it straight into the oven. Then what I do is I've got some mixed herbs. And then I sprinkle mixed herbs just over the top. Not using too much, not going overboard. Some people like their mixed herbs, so you can add loads to it. Okay, the oven's on 170 degrees, 175 degrees. Preheat your oven as usual. And then you just put it, like I say, in the top part of the oven, which is the warmest, and it'll cook. Just keep an eye on it, because when it's ready, you'll know is because the potato itself will start to turn goldeny brown in colour. So I'm just going to put this in the oven now to cook. Let me open the oven first. Don't leave the oven open too long, because then all your heat escapes. And there you go, it's straight in. And now you just leave it to cook. Nice. Looks like I've got to do a bit of DIY now. Okay, so it's been cooking for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. After the 25 minutes, what I did is I've turned the oven off and let it cook in its own heat and stew in its own heat there. So it's now made, it's ready. So I'm going to take it out of the oven. Again, still haven't invested in oven gloves. Really, really hot, so you've got to be careful. And I put it here on this cooling tray to cool down. It's ready. Now you can have it just like that as a meal on a plate. Some people tend to have a bit of veg round the side, but that's your shepherd's pie. Hope you've enjoyed the recipe. Like I said, there'll be more recipes and videos coming out soon. Keep watching Seek to Inspire and social media to find out more. Very soon as well, all the recipes and a lot more recipes will be gathered together, and there'll be a book coming out soon as well. So hope you enjoy your meal. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.